Hi Sagittarius, I am the Awakened Dreamer, and I'm here to give you a weekly tarot reading for the week of September 28th to October 4th. And I do want to, of course, take this moment to thank all of my new and returning subscribers. Welcome, everybody. And if you haven't yet, please do make sure to hit that subscribe button for me. And I more than appreciate all of your likes, shares, and comments, so head on down below and do just that. And while you are down there, you will see all the information you need to book a personal reading with myself. So just shoot me an email and I will get those started for you. Now, I meditated on your energy before beginning this reading, per usual. And the message that came through, my friend, was you set the tone. You set the tone. I love it. Let's get started. I'm not going to speak on that too much just yet, or at all. Let's get it started by pulling a message or two from the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle deck. What do we have for our Sagittarius to begin this weekly read? Thank you, Spirit. For Sagittarius, please. I'm just going to put those back because there was probably about 7 of them. Take 2. For Sagittarius, please. For this upcoming week, thank you, Spirit. Ooh, you got 3. Starting off, total submersion. Oh, this one came out for Aries. Don't be afraid to totally immerse yourself in a project, interest, or goal. Give 100% of your energy, and you may find what your life has been lacking. For a lot of you drawn to this video this week, I feel like you have been working towards something diligently. Or something has been on your mind that you've been trying to work towards. Maybe it's connecting with somebody or reconnecting with somebody. I don't know why I feel the need to say that. But then there's also another message coming through about you feel like there's something lacking in your life. Like it just, when you look around, you're very abundant. I feel like you do have a lot going on, but you seem to feel like there's just something missing. And it feels like once you decide to throw yourself into a certain project or your job, whatever it is for you, maybe a hobby, you will seem to somehow discover what's lacking at this point. And we have connect to source. Go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift required to attract what you want. This is reminding you on an individual level to not only connect to your spirit guides and the universe as a whole, but also to go within, you know, connect with your higher self, your intuition, your gut feeling, that inner knowing, and allowing yourself to figure out what needs to be done next, you know, what steps you need to take in whatever situation's been on your mind, or whatever needs to be improved upon. Also figuring out, will help you figure out what you need at this time, what you need to attract in order to better a situation. And then the third and final card we have is Unexplained Wonder, which is the card that Aries got. Magical blessings and miracles are occurring in your life. All your prayers are answered now. Interestingly enough, I feel like as the week goes along, you're going to see certain spurts of blessings and miracles happen in your life. Or this is coming through much differently than it did for Aries. I feel like you, as the week goes along and randomly, you may be reminded of the abundance in your life. And that's the form of a miracle that's coming through for you this week. You may be reminded that is 1000% your spirit guides coming through. coming through to remind you, all right, look, Sagittarius, you might be stressed, or you might be overwhelmed, or you might be very focused on this and that, but you need this moment to, we need to help you in this moment get out of your head and refocus on what you actually have at this point, what you've achieved up until now. A blue jay. Love when they appear outside my window in a reading. You may want to look up the spiritual meaning of a blue jay. A very strong meaning, if I remember correctly. Anyways, you may need to be reminded this week on a multitude of levels of how much abundance you have in your life. Moving right along, let's do some shuffling. I want to pull 7 tarot cards for the upcoming week. Everything happens for a reason. I turned it upside down as I adjusted my seat. 10 of Pentacles, they're telling me to show you at the bottom of the deck. Ultimate happiness, ultimate fulfillment, ultimate financial comfort, all of which is on your mind at this time. One more shuffle. Alrighty, Spirit, what do we have for Sagittarius to continue this weekly read? Please and thank you. Ooh, flopping out. You got a reversal to start off your week. Oh. Keep them coming. Alrighty, they're telling me to pull the last 3 for you. Alrighty, my friend. Very much like the other 2 fire signs this week. Bit of mixed emotions coming through right off the bat. So 3 of Pentacles to start off your week in reverse on Monday. Lack of recognition to start off your week. It may feel like you are unappreciated. At the very least, this is how you feel in your head. You feel unappreciated at work, or you feel unappreciated at home, or you feel unappreciated just in general, possibly for both situations. You may feel like your friends don't appreciate you, and for some reason, something sparks this thought process, either on Sunday from the previous week or at the beginning of this day. It feels like somebody or a situation reminds you of this, and it's like that one situation trickles this thought process to almost a focus for your day. Just be careful, it could lead to a negative spot rather, where you just expect the worst that day because of, and it almost feels like certain people aren't recognizing certain things that you do for them, or just in general. I don't feel like this is permanent. I just feel like this is a little bump in the road to start the week. 9 of Cups to move on to Tuesday. When Tuesday rolls around, you're much happier, much more free feeling. Like you're free of those thoughts, those burdens, if you will. You allow yourself to wake up on the right side of the bed and, in a sense, and see the best in the day. Very optimistic feeling. And you forget how contagious this is. How, very much like the overall message says, you set the tone for either your work situation or your home life, or just with the people that you surround yourself with. You very much forget this, and it's going to be a week where you're reminded of this in a multitude of ways. Because when which I can relate, when you're in a negative mindset, it spreads to those other energies around you. When you're in a positive, optimistic mindset like this, where you just feel like jumping out of bed in the morning, that spreads. It's contagious. It's just like when you yawn and you see someone next to you yawn. Your mood and your vibes and your vibrations, whether they're high or low or somewhere in the middle, all of which people pick up on and are sometimes, without realizing it, taking that on as well. Moving on to Wednesday, we have the Justice card. It may feel like you recently have been getting more of a sense of balance in your life. It may feel like you were overworked before or feeling burnt out, and now these days it's like, I have a bit of a moment to breathe, some time for self-care if that's what you choose to do with your time, some time to sleep in if you hadn't felt like you could before. And it feels like this is, in a sense, a little bit of justice coming your way. Your guides in the universe have noticed how you need that extra time, you need that rest, you need that rejuvenation, that time to gather your thoughts and collect them. I guess that was the same thing, gather and collect. Some time to filter through your thoughts, clear your mind, if you will. And this is their way of saying recently, here you go, Sagittarius. You've needed all of that extra time. Nobody's perfect, and neither are you. You can only expect so much from yourself, and this is your guide's way of saying, here you go, because I feel like you wouldn't have given yourself that extra time if you had the choice. You would have kept working. And then we have the Seven of Cups for Thursday. Thursday is going to be full of decisions for you, Sagittarius. You're going to have to make a lot of choices. It may feel like left and right people are asking for your opinion, or you feel like, okay, well, now I have to make a decision about this bill or this situation. Now I have to decide what to do about this situation at work, or this situation with my child, or with my friend, or my family member, however it pertains to you. Don't get overwhelmed. Allow yourself to take a step back and breathe and think about the choices and mull things over if need be. Don't feel rushed. Whatever people or situations decide to put pressure on you to make decisions, go at your own pace. Realize that the world isn't going to stop if you decide to take a little extra time to think. The Empress for Friday. Friday rolls around, you just have like this magical, amazing idea. This is part of the magical blessings and miracles, part of which is coming through in the form of ideas, my friend. This might be a small idea, or it may feel like it, but it will be larger in a sense moving forward. Maybe an idea for a new side hustle, or maybe a new creative solution to a problem. It might be a new idea for somebody else you're trying to help in your life. Either way, it's like you want to give birth to this idea. You want to start pursuing it or putting it into action, but it may not feel doable that day. And it may feel like someone doesn't appreciate or recognize this effort or this idea. It's aligned with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. A very motherly sort of vibe coming from this card, even if you aren't a mother. Feels like you're trying to mother somebody or trying to take care of somebody, and it may feel very rejected at times. And moving right along, we have the Ace of Swords for Saturday. I feel like everything that has happened throughout the week, with whoever you've been dealing with and whoever you've been trying to help, and all the decisions and choices that have popped up, along the week, it's going to leave you feeling very in your head, very, maybe even stressed out. It's like you start to contemplate so many things in your life and so many choices in the way you've approached certain situations and people. Not even just this week, but just moving, in general, in the past. And it feels like you start to question everything. And I mean, it's good to reflect and it's good to improve from those reflections, moving forward. But don't drive yourself nuts. Don't drive yourself crazy. It just feels like you already have a lot on your plate, even with this extra time to relax and rejuvenate. The last thing you need to do in life is stress yourself out even more. Try to simplify things. Meditate or take a step back or take a nap. Find a way to clear your mind. Walk in nature. It's a good idea. And then we have the Three of Swords to finish off the week on Sunday. Don't break your own heart, Sagittarius. It feels like the end of the week rolls around and you focus. It's like this habit from being in your own head negatively on Saturday carries through to the end of the week on Sunday. To the point where you're revisiting past situations that maybe were hurtful. You maybe even are talking about this with other people, which is bringing it back up, which is bringing back up the pain and the hurt and the stress. It may be a situation where somebody insulted you with their words, or maybe made you feel worthless, or make you kind of slip into this sort of mindset where you question everything. And I really don't feel like it has to do with this creative idea or lack of appreciation or noticing, or I really don't feel like it has to do with this week. I feel like you were thinking back to situations before this week that go back a bit. Try to let it go. Try not to focus on it. When you feel this popping back up or you revisiting it, try to distract yourself. Try to refocus your mental state on something positive. There is so much abundance in your life, so much to be happy about. Pick one thing in that moment when you feel this is popping back up. Find one thing to focus on and appreciate and feel good about. You can do it. Let's finish off with a very heavy reading by pulling a message or two from the Find Your Happy deck. What do we have to finish off this reading for Sagittarius for the week? Thank you, Spirit. For Sagittarius. Aha. Yes. Words to live by, my friend. Everything happens for a reason. I have this tattooed on my chest. It does. It absolutely does. Everything you're put through this week is happening for a reason. And everything happens when it's supposed to. All of which you need to remember this week. If it feels like... We're just going to move on to the second one because they're very much intertwined. Everything isn't happening to me. It's happening for me. It may feel like certain burdens or certain situations you're put in this week are a bit stressful or overwhelming or annoying or just unnecessary. You may even put yourself in those kind of situations. But at the end of the day, remember all of which is happening for you, not to you. Either for you to, learn a lesson or to grow or to help you get to a point where you improve the situation with somebody or however it pertains to you. But it's about getting into the mindset that you're not a victim in the situation. You are being pushed in a direction that is full of growth and expansion and, learning about you and whoever else you're dealing with. So on that note, as this week goes along, allow yourself to focus on what's positive in your life. Focus on the abundance. Don't allow for the lack of appreciation or lack of recognition of what you're doing and the hard work you're putting in and these creative ideas to get to you. Focus on your mental health and what's abundant in your life. Also, make sure you're allowing yourself to enjoy this downtime, this relaxation, this rejuvenation, but don't get overwhelmed when you have a lot of choices and decisions to make. And when you do find yourself getting in your own head, which is going to happen more than once this week, try to get yourself out. Again, try to focus on the abundance in your life. And don't break your own heart. And realize that everything does happen for a reason, and it's happening for you, not to you. But on the most important note for this reading, make sure you remember that you set the tone for whatever situation you're in, for your home life, if that pertains to you, or your work situation. You set the tone. And if you don't like the way certain people are acting or being or feeling, then you remember you can't change other people or the situation, but you can change how you act, how you react, how you are, because you're setting the tone, my friend. So on that note, if you haven't yet, please do subscribe to my wonderful channel and head on down below and do like this video and leave me a comment. I want to hear all about your situation. And while you're down there, don't forget to send me an email about booking a personal reading. And I hope you have the most amazing week, and I will see you next time. Bye, Sagittarius.